What's going on, guys? Sticky here. Today I'm bringing you a gameplay where I get 77 kills and 6 deaths. It's on the map Nuketown. Sorry, I know that there are many high kill gameplays on Nuketown, but this is one of my best, so I thought I would post it. I'm using the Vesper in this gameplay. I'm pretty sure I get 2 GI units, and I go on 2 20 kill streaks. Don't quote me on that though, but I'm almost 100% positive. My class setup, as I said before, I'm using the Vesper. The attachments I'm using are grip, stock, and fast hands. On the Vesper, fast hands or extended mags are a must. Um, just for the simple fact that you run out of ammo so quickly. And the only reason you run out of ammo so quickly is because of the extremely high fire rate that the Vesper has. My perk setup for Nuketown is generally always the same, depending on my primary weapon. If I'm using an assault rifle, I probably wouldn't be using the same perks as if I was using an SMG, and same thing for all the other weapon classes. But for this class, the first perk I use is Flak Jacket. And on Nuketown, this is an absolute must. I can't stress how much of a must it is. And the fact is that, or the reason why, is the plain and simple fact that people throw grenades like it's their job. Like as soon as they spawn, they'll throw a grenade into a high traffic area and hope for a kill. And you know, or I know from experience, that you do get kills sometimes from doing it, and I was guilty of doing this in older CODs, and I mean, it's not that big of a deal because you can counter it with Flakjack. But for my second perk, I use Scavenger. For sure, like no doubt about it, I'm gonna use Scavenger on a Vesper class. And like I said before, that's because of the high fire rate and how fast it empties clips. Like you can see in this gameplay, I get lucky if I kill 2 people with 1 mag, and I get extremely lucky if I kill 2 people with 1 mag, or 3 people with 1 mag. So yeah, I always use Scavenger on the Vesper, and almost always use it on any of my classes. And I use perk 2 Greed, so I'm pretty sure I'm either using Fast Hands or Tracker. I'm not sure. I mean, I always use Fast Hands on most of my classes. I don't usually use Tracker, but I think I might be using it in this gameplay because I was trying to go for a 7500 XP challenge. But if I wasn't using Tracker, I would either be using Hardwired or Fast Hands with it. And for my tier 3 perk, I use Tactical Mask, which is another must on Nuketown for the same exact reason I use Flak Jacket. Kids just throwing concussions and flashes and other stuff like they're maniacs. Next thing I wanted to talk about were fixed spawns and spawn flipping. The game modes that have fixed spawns that I can remember off the top of my head are Uplink, Safeguard, Capture the Flag, Demolition, and of course Search and Destroy. But you all know you can't get high kill gameplays on Search and Destroy just for the fact that you don't respawn until the next round. For those of you that don't know what a fixed spawn is, it's where you will only spawn at your home spawn. Unlike Domination, where if you push too far into the enemy spawn, or the enemies push too far into your spawn, the spawns will completely flip and to the other side of the map. And on game modes with fixed spawns, the spawns will absolutely never flip completely. I mean, there are some expectations that they won't spawn exactly in their home spawn, but I'll explain that later. I wanted to get into tactics to stay alive as well, because you can't really hold down a spawn if you don't know how to stay alive. So, one tactic I use is to always stay moving. Don't make stupid plays either. So, for example, if you know, or if you have any feeling that you're gonna die from making a play, don't make that play, because that can risk your streak. So say you're 2 kills away from getting your GI unit, or 2 kills away from getting your wraps. just wait to get those 2 kills. Like, even if it's till, like, you have to wait till the next round. You can see, I'm pretty sure in the first round, I'm pretty close to getting my streaks, and, or for the beginning of the second round, and I just kind of waited out a little bit in the beginning. I play a little bit more defensively until my teammates start holding down the spawns a little bit more, and then I hop into my position. I wouldn't rush for it because I didn't want to lose what I'd already gained. I didn't want to lose that streak, because in this game you all know how difficult it is to get your high kill streaks. Another thing you want to do to stay alive is stay away from high traffic areas unless you're positive you can win a gunfight. So what I mean by this is, say you're playing domination, or even uplink for this one. We'll use uplink because this game plays uplink. In the beginning of the match, everybody usually goes and runs for that uplink ball. What I would do is, if I'm on a streak, I wouldn't run for that uplink ball. I would kind of stay away from it and look over the uplink ball so I can pick people off going to it, because I know in the beginning of the match, people like to run to it. So just use your knowledge to your advantage when you're playing this game, because honestly, it's all about predicting where they're going to spawn and what the enemies are going to do. That's all this game is. And I know people are going to hate me for this, but don't play the objective if you're going for high kill gameplays, and you will still win if you use my tips in this, because I'll explain later how to win every game without even playing the objective yourself. One more tip for staying alive is jump shot and strafe while shooting enemies. You can see when I start to get shot a little bit, I'll jump up in the air and start spraying them down. Otherwise, I'm always moving and strafing, running back and forth, and this stock really helps with strafing. And lastly, I wanted to talk about how to control the spawns. So, you're going to want to have a party of people who know how the spawns work. It's going to be kind of difficult to spawn trap without a party of people that are knowledgeable on the spawns. Like if you're playing by yourself, I mean, I guess you could spawn trap by yourself, but you're gonna get flanked. You're not going to get flanked, but there's a way higher possibility that you will get flanked, just because of the simple fact that you're not gonna have people watching all the positions. I'll explain in a little bit. My five-man party positions are holding in the spawns. I guess that's what you can call it. But another thing you're going to want to do is don't stand inside their spawn. Like, you know they're going to be spawning behind the fence on Nuketown, behind either the orange or blue house. Don't be standing in that fence. It's going to affect the spawns, and you're going to influence the spawns to the middle of the map. And that's what I was talking about earlier with fixed spawns and the spawn flipping. There are some exceptions to it. And that is one of the exceptions. If you run deep in their spawn, you're standing right on top of where they're going to spawn, the spawns won't flip all the way to the other side of the map. They'll just kind of go behind you. So if you're like in their spawn, they're going to spawn mid-map by like the blue car and the red car. And that's not good, because if you don't have a setup of people in certain areas, you're going to get flanked. Another thing you want to do is use AI-based score streaks, and the reason for this is because it's gonna overwhelm the enemy team. They won't know what to do with themselves. They'll be trying to hide from the kill streaks, but at the same time try to hide from you as they're running into their spawn. So they'll get blown up by your wraps, and then they'll respawn and be scared that they're going to get blown up by your wraps. They're going to try to sprint inside, and what do you know, you're waiting right there for them to pick them off. So that's why it's nice to use AI-based score streaks, because not only for wraps, but for GI unit, Wraith, it serves the same purpose. I have general positions for each person to play on your team, I guess you could say. So the positions are left side, right side, middle. Those are pretty self-explanatory. Like, you know what I mean by that. They're gonna be controlling the right side, the left side, and the middle. And sometimes you'll push a little bit deeper in, but usually you just kind of stay in one general area. I also have someone playing the objective too, so that we can win the game at the same time of spawn trapping them, and the runner. The runner is probably one of the most important people because he runs around the map and makes sure that people aren't flanking us. That's all I really have for this video. It's getting to the end of the video. I hope my tips helped you. I hope you guys use my tips. If they did help, leave a like. If they didn't help, tell me why they didn't help below. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Thanks, guys.